listen. The first time I was given the opportunity to sing that song was in the revival of Gypsy in 1973. I remember so well our first preview and experiencing something on that stage unlike anything that I'd ever felt before, and of course it was complete and abject terror. I kept thinking, this show isn't mine. It belongs to someone else. But somewhere near the end of the first act, in the middle of that song, I said, okay, this is fine. Sure, that song had belonged to Ethel Merman, and someday it would belong to someone else again. But just for that moment, it was mine, with apologies, of course, to Mr. Stein and Mr. Sondheim. But that's what the theater does. It provides both us who are lucky enough to work in it and the audience a chance to share and hold a moment that belongs to no one else. Now, those moments may be gone as quickly as they come, and yet somehow they live on both in their time and in our memories. And tonight, we're here to celebrate the moments and the magic of the past theater season. Welcome to the 1989 Tony Awards.
Tonight, live from New York, the League of American Theaters and Producers and the American Theater Wing welcome you to the 1989 Tony Awards with our host, Angela Lansbury. An evening of celebration to honor this year's theatrical season with appearances by the stars of the Broadway stage and scenes from Black and Blue, The Heidi Chronicles, Jerome Robbins Broadway, Largely New York, Lend Me a Tenor, Shirley Valentine, and Starmites.
Beginning in the 1920s and for almost decades after, a glorious and unique world existed both on Broadway and beyond. Night after night, in theaters, vaudeville houses, and nightclubs throughout the city, the stars of the Black Musical Revue would sing out the joys and the sorrows of their lives through a wondrous combination of jazz, blues, and tap. This season, that world has been brought back to us once again by the creators of our first nominated musical. Ladies and gentlemen, Ruth Brown, Linda Hopkins, and the cast of Black and Blue.
You know, there's nothing I can say and nothing I can do that folks don't criticize me, but I really don't care, because I am going to do what I want to do anyway. If I should take a notion to go out and jump in the ocean, ain't nobody's business if I do.
Well,
Ladies and gentlemen, Tony winners Leslie Uggams and Barry Bostwick.
In the acting profession, we often say that less is more. And for a featured performer, less, well, it's usually all you got. One chance to sell your character and to make your mark.
And if you catch the audience in that one moment, they'll be yours forever.
The nominees for Best Performance by a featured actor in a musical are Bunny Briggs, Black and Blue. Savion Glover, Black and Blue. Scott Wentworth, Welcome to the Club. Scott Wise, Jerome Robbins, Broadway.
And the Tony goes to Scott Wise.
I have to make this quick. They'll take this away. I have to thank Mr. Robbins, first of all. Thank you for the honor working with you and for your patience. The Schubert Organization, Manny Eisenberg Iron Mountain Productions, Fred Nathan, Bauman Hiller, Mark Rendante, my agent. Oh my gosh, Tessa Williams, Stephanie Samara. Oh, this is terrible. This is so hard. My mother and father, who I owe so much to, Norma and Jim, my sister Lorlee, my lovely wife Keel, and my daughter Savannah. This means so much. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The nominees for Best Performance by a Featured Actress in a Musical are Jane Lanier, Jerome Robbins, Broadway. Faith Prince, Jerome Robbins, Broadway. Debbie Shapiro, Jerome Robbins, Broadway. Julie Wilson, Legs Diamond.
And the Tony goes to Debbie Shapiro, Jerome Robbins, Broadway.
Oh my God! I'm not prepared at all because I didn't want to tempt the gods. Oh my God, I can't blither. My husband told me not to blither. I want to thank Jerry Robbins for letting me be whatever I am. I still haven't figured it out. I want to thank the entire company of Jerome Robbins Broadway because it really is an ensemble show, and this goes to everybody in the show, not just to me. And I want to thank Manny Eisenberg. I want to thank my agents. Oh, the Schuberts. Sherry, Bernie, thank you. And my husband. Okay, bye-bye, thank you.
Tonight, people have gathered from all over the world to celebrate the theater's greatest night, the 1989 Tony Awards. Sponsored by Honda, maker of the CRX, Civic, Accord, and Prelude.
It has a classic design and an engine that sings.
up my work early. Had some time to look around. It's all coming back to me. Being here with Diane. Why not?
With USA Direct, AT&T is a friendly voice from home to get you through in no time with no hidden charges.
I'll get you right through.
Hi, it's me. Listen, I was thinking about a second honeymoon.
So go ahead, call. Reach out and touch someone.
Careful. Remember the new carpet, darling.
Are you going to live in fear of your new carpet? Or buy the carpet called Worry-Free? With a 5-year warranty against dirt, wear, and more stains than other stain-resistant carpets, it takes out something other carpets can't, the worry.
Thank you, darling. Oh, you forgot the orange juice.
So buy the carpet called Worry-Free. It's more than just stain-resistant. It's totally worry-free.
Well, my blue jean lady, it's that time again to put little Jenny to bed early and toast to another year of mortgage payments and football widowhood, of getting a new driveway put in and taking December to get over the flu. And tonight, as you comb your hair up and put on that black velvet dress, expecting no more than roses, I'm going to give you something on our 5th year together to make your baby blues open very wide.
Good evening. I am Colleen Dewhurst, and the first 2 of our nominated plays speak with a woman's voice of the lives we have left unlived and the unexpected destinations to which our choices have taken us. In her Pulitzer Prize-winning play, author Wendy Wasserstein lovingly depicts scenes in the life of a single woman who emerges from the freedom won during the 60s only to encounter their bittersweet consequences. Joan Allen is the woman, and Peter Friedman, her longtime boyfriend, who must face each other at his wedding reception, moments after he has married another woman. From Heidi Chronicles.
You really don't understand, do you?
I think I do.
No, you don't. But I can explain. Let's say we married, and I asked you to devote the, say, next 10 years of your life to me. To making me a home and a family and a life so secure that I could, with some confidence, go out into the world each day and attempt to get an A. You'd say no. You'd say, why can't we be partners? Why can't we both go out into the world and get an A? And you'd be absolutely valid and correct.
But Lisa...
Do I love her? She's the best that I can do. Is she an A+ like you? No, but I don't want to come home to an A+. A- maybe, but not A+.
Scoop, we are out of school. We are in life. You don't have to grade everything.
I'm sorry, Heidler, but I couldn't dangle you anymore, and that's why I got married today.
So now it's all my fault?
Sure it is. You want other things in life than I do.
Really? Like what?
Self-fulfillment, self-determination, self-exaggeration.
That is exactly what you want.
Right. Then you'd be competing with me.
Scoop.
What?
Forget it.
What, baby? It's either or.
That is simply not true.
You don't like the grades? Forget the grades. Let's try numbers on a scale from 1 to 10. If you aim for 6 and get 6, everything works out very nicely. But if you aim for 10 in all things, then get 6, you're going to be very disappointed. And unfortunately, that's why you quality time girls are going to be one generation of disappointed women. Interesting, exemplary, even sexy, but basically unhappy. The ones who open the doors usually are.
But you're willing to settle for a secure 6?
I've got more important things to worry about.
Your new magazine?
Just things. It's all home cooking in that crock pot you bought us. By the way, I was hurt by that. It's not a very personal gift.
I'll send him Mr. Coffee.
I never meant to hurt you.
Bye, Scoop. Congratulations.
playwright Willie Russell began our second nominated play, he said he wanted to create a character that could express her longing for a better life with the storytelling humor of a stand-up comic. Shirley Valentine was his gift to the ordinary woman and to anyone who has ever looked around and wondered what happened to their life. Pauline Collins stars as the high-spirited Liverpool housewife who recounts a life buried in the routine of an unhappy marriage.
You know, I always said I'd leave him when the kids grew up, but by the time they'd grown up, there was nowhere to go. Well, you don't start again at 42, do you? Hey? I mean, they do say, don't they? They say that once you're into your 40s, life gets a bit jaded. And you begin to believe that the only good things are the things that happened in the past. Well, I must have been an early developer. I felt like that at 25. No, I'm not saying he's bad, my fella is. He's just no bleeding good. Mind you, do you know, I think most of them are the same, aren't they? I mean, they're lovely at first, you know, when they're courting you. Do you know, before they've had the horizontal party with you. Oh, they're great. No, they'll do anything for you, but the very minute after they've first had you, their behaviour starts to change. It's like that advert on television, isn't it? I was watching it the other night, you know, Cadbury's milk tray man. Oh, he's marvellous, isn't he? No, you see him, he dives off a 1,000-foot cliff, swims across 2 miles of water, and climbs halfway up a block of flats just to drop off a box of chocolates. And you learn from that the lady loves Cadbury's milk chocolates. You also learn that the lady's been keeping her legs firmly closed. No, because if she hadn't, if he'd had his way with her, he wouldn't go there by diving off a 1,000-foot cliff and swimming through a raging torrent. He'd go by bus. And there'd be no chocolates. And if she mentioned the chocolates he used to bring, he'd say, "Oh, no, stop bringing your chocolates, baby, because you're putting a bit too much weight on." Do you know, when you come to think of it, Cadbury's would go out of business if women didn't hold back a bit.
Ladies and gentlemen, Tony winners John Lithgow and B.D. Wong.
I don't know if it was fate or coincidence, but V.D. and I both won Tony Awards the first time we played featured roles on Broadway. And here's the thing, in both cases, there were scenes that we each had to play in the nude.
John told me that taking off my clothes would not guarantee my winning. But it couldn't hurt either.
Now, this year, all the nominees for Best Featured Actor and Actress performed their entire roles fully clothed. So tonight's winners are anybody's guess.
The nominees for Best Featured Actress in a Play are Christine Baranski, Rumors; Joanne Camp, The Heidi Chronicles; Tova Feldschuh, Lend Me a Tenor; Penelope Ann Miller, Our Town;
And the winner is Christine Baranski.
Yesterday, I bet my producer, Manny Eisenberg, $1 million that I would lose tonight. Perhaps I can borrow the money from Neil Simon. I thank above all my extraordinary husband, Matthew Coles, my family and friends who helped me to keep my family life together these past 10 months. I was thrilled to work again for the Eisenberg organization. I thank all my pals backstage and in the front office. I thank Gene Sachs, the entire cast of Rumors, including the understudies. I thank Manny, my producer, who is my friend and the father of my 2 Tonys. And finally, I thank the prolific and genius Neil Simon. I'm now the 12th actor to win a Tony for a performance in a Neil Simon play. I've had a wonderful time, Neil, and I salute you tonight.
The nominees for Best Performance by a Featured Actor in a Play are Peter Frechette for Eastern Standard, Boyd Gaines in The Heidi Chronicles, Eric Stoltz in Our Town, and Gordon Joseph Weiss in Ghetto.
And the winner is Boyd Gaines for Heidi
First, I'd like to thank Victor Garber for not taking this part. Thanks, Victor. I'd like to share this with the members of our company. They're an extraordinary group of actors and artisans. They have my great love. They've been unbelievably supportive and loving. Wendy Wasserstein, who wrote this beautiful play and cast me in it, and my friend Anna Levine, who bugged her until she did, Andre Bishop, the people at Playwrights Horizons, the Schuberts, our wonderful crews at Playwrights and on Broadway, and my family in California and Georgia, my girlfriend Delaunay Michelle, and, of course, the cast. What a great cast. Peter Friedman, Ellen Parker, Joanne Camp, Anne Lang, Cynthia Nixon, Laura Hicks, Amanda Carlin, Stephen Stout, Alma Cuervo, and Sarah Jessica Parker, and last but not least, Joan Allen, who is an incredible gift. To play with her is an utter joy. She makes us all look wonderful. And to all of you, thank you very much.
Please fill in the space. Which car has the largest list of standard luxury features of any car in its class? Which car has more front leg room than any car in its class? Which car? This car. The new Honda Civic LX four-door sedan. Just fill in the space.
I never understood some of these computer companies. You call in their service people and they give you an attitude. If I had even a couple of pieces of somebody else's equipment anywhere in my organization, they acted like I made a terrible mistake. The problem always seemed to be in the other guy's equipment. But that's all history now. I just signed a new agreement with IBM. They've taken full responsibility for servicing all my computer equipment, no matter whose name is on it.
I'm Bill Farley, and I don't just run through the loom. I really run and work out
and sometimes even relax. So I know what you need in activewear.
And Fruit of the Loom activewear gives it to you.
I made sure of it.
Our full-cut t-shirts can really take it. Our comfortable sweats move right with you in colors that fit your style. Quality activewear, one more way we fit America.
At the biggest bank in Ireland, from coast to friendly coast, they'll refund your Visa traveler's checks if they're stolen or they're lost. So be off without a care and travel where you will, from McGillicuddy Reeks to Glencolumkill. But if you lose that other traveler's check, you may be in distress while you're phoning for a refund.
Thought you had the number.
From American Express. Visa traveler's checks, they're everywhere you want to be.
The American Theater Wing's Tony Awards will return in a moment.
Can you survive the flaming tower of comedy?
Is it hot in here?
Courageous comedians battle the Monday Blonde. With action.
Hit her! You should have hit her!
Thrills.
Oh, what is it?
Romance.
Oh, God, I want him.
So race for a red-hot comedy break Monday.
Ooh, baby, baby!
On strike. A coal country confrontation with the future of unions on the line.
We won't go back!
An all-new 48 Hours, Thursday. This is CBS. Elvis is alive. Paul is dead. Bert has AIDS. Oprah stabs friend. These were some of the wild rumors that somehow grabbed the public spotlight. And on the next Entertainment Tonight, we're going to share with you some of the craziest rumors ever and let the stars themselves put these rumors to rest.
I mean, if somebody has something to say, why the hell don't they just say it?
If you've heard something that sounds too crazy to believe, we'll set the record straight. Only on the next Entertainment Tonight.
Monday night at 6:30 on Channel 2.
Quality. A lot of people like to use that word. But not many are willing to guarantee it. That sets Amoco Ultimate apart from other gasolines. Its quality is guaranteed. If one tank full of engine cleaning 93 octane Ultimate doesn't stop, knock, and run on in your car, Amoco will refund your money. Period. So, while others talk quality, Amoco guarantees it.
New threats in China. The story at 10.
The 1989 Tony Awards. Brought to you by AT&T, the right choice. Ladies and gentlemen, three-time Tony Award winner, Zoe Caldwell.
Theater is like life. You can't go on to the future unless you listen to and learn from the past. So, revivals are not simply a stroll down memory lane. They are necessary for our well-being. The nominees for the best revival of a play or musical are Eugene O'Neill's family comedy, Our Wilderness, Fats Waller's musical review, Ain't Misbehavin', Highcraft's nostalgic view of Yiddish theater, Cafe Crown, Thornton Wilder's American classic, Our Town. And the winner is Our Town.
Thornton Wilder wrote this play in 1939, 50 years ago, and then, as now, the world was in great turmoil. It seems to me the genius of the play is that he didn't turn his back on it and retreat into nostalgia or sentimentality, but embraced it and wrote a great number of simple truths and enduring ones and more powerful for the big lies that surrounded them. We loved doing this play, and we loved the play. I'm sorry Mr. Wilder isn't here to accept it. I'm sorry his 90-year-old sister, Isabel, isn't here to accept it. If you're listening, Isabel, bless you. So on behalf of magnificent company and great board and staff at Lincoln Center Theater, thank you very much.
I just want to congratulate Gregory, who cast the play impeccably and directed it with such simplicity and grace that people who felt they knew the play from having seen it before saw it as for the first time. Although our town ended its run at the Lyceum a month or so ago, we've taped it for great performances, and it's going to be broadcast on public broadcasting this fall. And we hope you'll all tune in and see it. Thank you.
Nominated musical began its rather fantastic journey as the first effort of a small downtown theater company. For almost 9 years, its determined and dedicated creators, Barry Keating and Stuart Ross, continued to nurture their show through workshops and regional productions before arriving on Broadway this spring. The story of a young woman who is magically transported to the world of her favorite comic books, where she battles the Queen of Inner Space, meets the man of her dreams, saves the galaxy, and still manages to make it home in time for dinner. Yes, that old story. Ladies and gentlemen, the cast of Starmites.
The mighty Starmites, we fight for the right and unite to be free. We're the Starmites, the mighty Starmites, the punks of the future are we. Starmites, the mighty Starmites, we fight for the right and unite to be free. We're the Starmites, the mighty Starmites, the punks of the future are we. I am the space punk, the original space punk, the leader of the pack. Hear me, action, do or die. With a biff, bop, and a bam, I can rescue any damsel, the king of the superheroes. It's hard to be divine. It's hard to be diva, baby. Hard. Hard. It's hard to be the diva. It's hard to be divine. To live the life of fever with your guts on the line. It's hard to be the diva. The stories I could tell. My life may seem like heaven, but boy, is it hell. And it's hard. Oh, it's hard. Yes, it's hard. Baby, it's hard. And it's a hard, 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 hard life when you've got to be diva. And I'm the diva. honey, never be rude, 'cause it's hard. Oh, it's hard. Yes, it's hard. Baby, it's hard. And it's hard, 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 hard when you've got to be diva. You better be diva. And I'm the diva. You better be diva. I'm the diva. From me, it may be hard to be the diva, but it's so much hard enough to be. Take it home, girls. Tell her. Sing it's hard. Oh, it's hard. Yes, it's hard. Baby, it's hard. And it's a hard, 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 hard love. I kid you not. Hard, 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 hard love. My nerves are shot. Hard, 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 hard love. When you've got to be diva. And I'm the diva. Yes, you're the diva.
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Nell Carter.
You're mean to me. Why must you be mean to me? Excuse me, please. I mean, as you all know, it is very important that the scenery behind you set right mood. And I'm just not going to sing this song, you know, working in front of this big bird. Thank you. Now I would like something soft and sexy behind me. Yes. Now, speaking of lights, the lights have to be right, too. You know, when I sing a love song, I like the lights to go down way low. And I like that spotlight just to creep right on up under my chins. Oh, and now to add to that, you need a great costume. I mean, face it, honey, they can make you look like $1 million or $39.50. Diamonds. Anyway, can't you see what you mean to me? Just our way of trying to say that when a number feels good out there, it's because of the sets, the lights, and the costumes have been making us look so good up here. Now, the nominees for Best Scenic Design are Santo Laquasto for Cafe Crown, Thomas Lynch for the Heidi Chronicles, Claudio Segovia and Hector Orizzoli for Black and Blue, Tony Walton for Lended Me a Tenor. Well, I guess you know I didn't win, didn't you? Oh, Cafe Crown. Come here, baby. Santo Laquasto.
there are many people to thank, of course, but we're forbidden to do that, I'm told. Martin Charnon managed to make this a wonderful experience. I especially thank Francine Lefrak and the Nederlanders for bringing us uptown, the technical staff of the Shakespeare Festival, my astounding assistants, Peter Eastman and Glenn Lloyd, and, of course, Joe Papp, who was largely responsible for my career in the New York theater. I have two regrets. One is that my mother's home in Pennsylvania was denied the pleasure of shoving me up the aisle. And the other, more sadly, is that my dear friend and colleague of many years, Nico Sakharopoulos, isn't here tonight. It was those many years of working with him at the Williamstown Theater that taught me so much about what it is I do. And in receiving this, I celebrate his memory, and thank you for that.
The nominees for Best Lighting Design are Neil Peter Jampoulis and Jane Reisman for Black and Blue, Brian Nason for Metamorphosis, Nancy Schertler for Largely New York, and Jennifer Tipton for Jerome Robbins' Broadway. And the winner is, again, it's not me. Oh, Jennifer Tipton, come on!
This is terrific, and I must say it's wonderful, such a privilege to be on the stage with such fantastic women of the theater tonight. I'd like to thank every single one of my crew at the Imperial Theater. They're terrific, and I love them dearly. I'd love to thank the producers, and the staff, and the cast, the fantastic cast whose energy seemed everlasting. And, of course, Jerry Robbins. There's been a lot of light that I've done for him in my life, and I thank you. And I also would like to thank Alberta Ayler. And how could I do what I do without Joe Alisi and Robin Wagner? Yay, team. The last time I was here, I was nominated for the Lighting for Sophisticated Ladies. My escort that night was my father, who was dying of cancer. He was deeply disappointed when I didn't get a Tony. So this is for him, for my father. Thank you.
The nominees for Best Costume Design are Jean Greenwood for Our Town, Willa Kim, Legs Diamonds, I could have done that, William Ivy Long, Lend Me a Tenor, and Claudia Segovia and Hector Orizoli for Black and Blue, and the winner is... You looking up my dress? Shit. Oh, Black and Blue. Give me the card. Claudio Segovia and Hector Orizoli cannot be with us here tonight because they're in Tokyo. They're getting ready to open a new show called Tango Argentino. Now, if you don't tell them, I won't tell them, but I'm taking this home. Y'all have a good time.
Ladies and gentlemen, President of the American Theater Wing, Miss Isabel Stevenson.
I love being backstage. You know, the Tony Awards were named after actress, director, producer Antoinette Perry, who passionately believed that the theater was a craft of great skills and must be passed on to those working in it. I am Isabel Stevenson, president of the American Theater Wing, the organization which founded the Tony Awards and works to ensure that professionals share their knowledge. This year, the Wing's unique seminars on working in the theater went from New York City University to England's BBC's Open University. And in the spirit of Glasnost, we sponsored with the O'Neill Center a workshop of Russian and American students in New York. The Wing serves the community in bringing theater into hospitals, nursing homes, and aid centers. For future audiences, the Wing brings exciting performances into schools through the Saturday Theater for Children program. I congratulate tonight's nominees and salute the resident theater companies across the country who helped to enrich Broadway. From the American Theater Wing, I wish you year-round enjoyment of the theater.
There's a tempting myth in business today. It's the siren song. Other long-distance companies luring you with promises of AT&T quality at irresistible savings. But it's just a myth. They entice you with prices based on a 1-minute call. But when you consider the average business call lasts over 4 minutes, AT&T prices are extremely competitive. And no one can match AT&T's dependability. So don't be seduced by myths. They're never what they seem. AT&T, call us. Find out how competitive our prices really are.
To the competition. This is the new Honda Civic 4-door sedan. Good luck.
What dry was? What dry is? Introducing new Michelob Dry Beer. It's brewed longer to start bold, finish clean, and refresh completely. New Michelob Dry. One taste, and you'll drink it dry.
The typical American family,
Do I have to go to Australia?
pursuing the dream for a better life.
You're gonna love it.
But for one of them,
I can't do this myself.
that dream becomes a terrifying test.
Do you want Dad to come back?
Alone, desperate, she struggled against impossible odds to hold her family together.
I think that we can do this.
Linda Lavin in the amazing true story of a woman who found the courage to overcome incredible obstacles and build a place to call home. Next Sunday.
From CBS News, this is Health Watch. Cholesterol screening at shopping malls and fairs may be convenient, but the results may be just plain wrong. Why? After this.
This is smooth, creamy yogurt. And this is how your taste buds see it. Add the nutty, crunchy taste of Post Grape Nuts, the cereal with oomph, and send your taste buds on a wild adventure. Oomph it up with Grape Nuts.
Desktop cholesterol analyzers, which test blood drawn from your finger, are only as good as the people operating them. Unfortunately, there's no way to tell if your operator is well trained. 2 suggestions. Don't let a test taker squeeze your finger. That dilutes the blood, producing an artificially low reading. And if your reading is high, have a full cholesterol screening, at least a week later, by a laboratory whose equipment meets U.S. government standards. I'm Dr. Bob Arnott for Health Watch.
This year, one of the happiest events of the theatrical season was the triumphant return to Broadway of Jerome Robbins. The master choreographer and director, whose credits read like a roll call of Broadway musical history. Everything from Peter Pan, to Fiddler on the Roof, to West Side Story, to The King and I. For his new show, Jerome Robbins Broadway, he brought back 15 of his legendary dances from 9 hit Broadway shows, which had collectively won 30 Tony Awards. He wove them into an evening that explodes with immediate excitement and with his gift for transforming dance into a theatrical art form. Although Jerome Robbins Broadway received 10 Tony nominations, the choreography, like the sets and costumes, were considered duplications of the original, and so were not eligible for nomination, which gives us the great pleasure of making him available to present this year's award for Best Choreography, an award that he has won 3 times. It is so lovely to have him back on Broadway again. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jerome Robbins.
Thank you very much. I haven't worked in the theater in a long time, but the past year and a half I have been working, and I enjoyed it tremendously, and I'm equally happy to be a part of the ceremonies tonight. This year, the nominees for the best choreography are Michelle Asaph for Starmites, Charlie Atkins, Henry Latang, Frankie Manning, and Fayard Nichols for Black and Blue, Bill Irwin and Kim Okada for Largely New York, and Alan Johnson for Legs Diamond. And the Tony Award goes to Charlie Atkins, Henry Latang, Fred Manning, Fayard Nichols for Black and Blue.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We're very excited. Mr. Fayard Nichols, Mr. Henry Latang, Mr. Frank Manning, and yours truly, collectively would like to thank the creators and the administrators of Black and Blue for selecting us to choreograph Black and Blue. We also would like to thank the entire company for their devotion, their love, and their cooperation. A special thanks to our assistant choreographer, Miss Diane Walker. And a tremendous thanks to our #1 supporters, all of our families. And we'd also like to say that we're very grateful to the American Theater Wing and the League for selecting us to receive the greatest bonus in our lives. All together, fellas, a Tony. Thank you.
My name is Swoosie Kurtz. There is a deliciously wicked tradition in the theater called farce. It goes beyond comedy into lunacy and is played with all the urgency of high drama. Ken Ludwig, the author of our 3rd nominated play, Lend Me a Tenor, has set his farce in the fictitious world of the Cleveland Grand Opera Company the night they are expecting the arrival of a world-renowned tenor. Philip Bosco plays the besieged impresario, and Victor Garber, his timid assistant, whose surprising offer sets the evening's antics in motion.
I've got 1,000 of Cleveland's so-called cognoscenti arriving at the theater in 6 hours in black tie. I've got a 30-piece orchestra, 24 chorus, 15 stagehands, 8 principals. Backstage, I've approximately 60 pounds of rotting shrimp mayonnaise, which if consumed could turn the Gala Beer sponsor buffet into a mass murder. All I don't have is a tenor. Time.
1:15. I'm really sorry, sir. I wish there was something I could do to help.
Oh, it's not your fault, Max. I wish it was. The question now is what to do if that irresponsible Italian jackass doesn't arrive.
I have an idea about that, actually.
You do?
Yeah, I mean, sort of.
Well, spit it out, Max.
The thing is, I mean, I was just thinking that, well, I mean, I could do it.
Do what?
Sing it. Othello, sort of step in. You see, I've been to all the rehearsals, and I know the part, and I mean, I could do it. I know I could.
Othello. Big black fellow.
Yes, sir.
Othello, Max, he's huge. He's larger than life. He loves with a passion that rocks the heavens. His jealousy is so terrible, we tremble with irrational fear for our very lives. His tragedy is the fate of tortured greatness, facing the black and gaping abyss of insensible nothingness. It isn't you, Max.
Hello? What? Sir, it's him. He's in the lobby.
Signor Morelli, benvenuto a Cleveland. I will be down immediatamente. Presto. All right, Max, this is it. You have your instructions. Keyword, Max, glue. Glue. You will stick to him like glue. You will not let him out of your sight. You will drive him to the rehearsal and then drive him back. You will give him whatever he wants except
liquor and women.
At the performance, you will need a spontaneous
standing ovation.
Then return him to the reception, keeping him
sober
with his hands
to himself.
At which point he can
drop dead.
For all we care. Good, good.
The unseen star of a play is the director. In the hands of a great director, a play seems to take shape on the stage as though it had been born there. When a director's hand is invisible, his mark is everywhere. This year's nominees for Best Director of a Play are Bill Irwin, Largely New York; Gregory Mosher, Our Town; Daniel Sullivan, The Heidi Chronicles; Jerry Zaks, Lend Me a Tenor; and the winner is Jerry Zaks.
Oh, thank you so much. There's so many people I want to thank, and I don't dare work without a script, so I took a chance on so forgive me. I'd like to thank Ken Ludwig for writing this hysterically funny play. I'd like to thank Martin Starger and Biddy Hayward of the Really Useful Company for producing it. I would like to thank the extraordinary design team of Tony Walton, William Ivy Long, and Paul Gallo for their elegant and beautiful design. I would like to thank Eddie Strauss for his work on the music, Steve Beckler and the stage management team, the entire backstage crew and the front of house crew at the Royale Theater. I would like to thank my personal support team of Laurie Steinberg, my assistant, Bill Craver, Paul Werner, my three girls, Jill, Emma, and Hannah. And I would mainly like to thank the cast. They're an extraordinary group of actors who, by virtue of their craft and unselfishness, combined to speak with one voice and give an object lesson in the art of comic acting. I respect you and I love you. And finally, I just want to devote this to the memory of my father. His spirit informs everything I do, and he would have loved this. Thank you very much.
Wonderful things about working in the theater is that you can never tell where the magic may be found. As each show is written and rehearsed, a moment we never expected will suddenly turn up in the most unlikely and surprising of places. Tonight, we like to remember just a few of those rather unexpected moments. Several years ago, a composer was trying out a new oratorio at a summer festival. He tried to turn the work into a musical, but could never find that one missing piece which might make it all come together. After the first workshop performance, the widow of the man who had inspired the work presented him with an unpublished poem that her husband had kept locked away for years. What Andrew Lloyd Webber found in that poem was not just the inspiration for a new song, but the final key to a dream and to the show that he called Cats. Ladies and gentlemen, Betty Buckley.
Memory, all alone
again. Burnt out ends of smoky days, the stale cold smell of morning. A street lamp dies, another night is over, another day is dawning. Watch me, it's so easy to leave me all alone with the memory of my days in the sun. If you touch me, you'll understand what happiness is. Look, a new day has
In 1970, a new musical about marriage was being tried out in Boston. It was called Company, and everyone agreed it was quite remarkable and innovative, and that the show's final number just wasn't working. The creators looked back at everything they discarded and found in 2 words of an old lyric exactly what they've been trying to say all along. And out of those 2 words grew a new song that once again found the show's heart. Ladies and gentlemen, Larry Kert.
Somebody hold me too close. Somebody hurt me too deep. Somebody sit in my chair and ruin my sleep and make me aware of being alive. Make me alive. Make me confused. Mock me with praise. Let me bury my days, but alone is alone, not alive. Somebody crown me with love. Somebody force me to care. Somebody make me come true. I'll always be there, as frightened as you, to help us survive. Being alive, being alive, being
A few years later, a little night music was well into rehearsal when the composer was sitting in the back of the theater watching the actors run through a scene. The main character was saying goodbye to her lover. As she left, she suddenly raised her hand in a gesture of farewell. What Stephen Sondheim saw in that unexpected movement was a life for the character that he'd never known before. And he went home that night and started to work. And out of that one small gesture, he found a moment that would touch the world forever. Isn't it rich? Are we a pair? Me here at last on the ground, you in midair. Where are the clowns? Send in the clowns. Just when I'd stop opening doors, finally knowing the one that I wanted was yours. Making my entrance again with my usual flair, sure of my line, no one is there. Isn't it rich? Isn't it queer? Losing my timing this late in my career. And where are the clowns? There ought to be clowns. Well, maybe next year.
Oh, 5 more minutes. It's our anniversary. Let's call in sick.
Can't.
Oh, 10 years deserves something.
True.
Haven't I made you coffee for 10 years?
Haven't I had to drink it? Now, come on.
Why?
Show your friends this. Happy anniversary.
Oh, it's beautiful.
The Diamond Anniversary Band. This year. Tell her you'd marry her all over again.
Okay, I'll show him. Tomorrow.
Seriously, what do you think?
I think it's a great idea, but how are we going to sell it? Oh, that's nice.
Apple Computer has brought together a revolutionary set of tools
This looks great.
that will help you express your ideas more powerfully than ever before.
Apple Desktop Media. The best way to make a great idea fly.
Remember when getting a new carpet meant worrying about stains and wear and tear? Then DuPont created Certified Stain Master Carpet to help keep its new looks without your going to great lengths. DuPont Stain Master. For stains and wear, it's not a Stain Master carpet if it doesn't say DuPont.
Honda Accord Coupe. It's music to your eyes.
The American Theater Wing's Tony Awards will return in a moment.
A lawyer frames and then defends his ex-wife in a case of murder.
No self-defense, no heat of passion.
Robert Culp guest stars Jake and the Fat Man. Then, on Wise Guy, a high-stakes sting is threatened, and Benny's life hangs in the balance as Jerry Lewis continues his very special dramatic role after Jake and the Fat Man, Wednesday starting at 9.
Massacre in Beijing. After the brutal government crackdown, where does China go from here? CBS News' unprecedented coverage continues tomorrow on the CBS Evening News. This is CBS.
If you wanted to have the perfect adhesive bandage in your medicine cabinet, it would be easy to open, no strings attached. It would have a pad that won't stick to the wound, a pad so special it was patented, an adhesive that's hypoallergenic, and it would be very flexible. It would be Curad, the ouchless bandage. Of course, the perfect bandage would also have an ouchless price. Curad, the ouchless bandage at an ouchless price.
Juice?
Very fine. The very finest.
Chicago's Polish voters choose Solidarity tonight at 10.
Good evening. Thank you. Good evening. I'm Richard Thomas. Thank you very much. My very first appearance on the stage was at the Sacandaga Theater in upstate New York, where the audience had the dubious pleasure of hearing me sing "You Gotta Have Heart" at the age of 6. Unfortunately, that theater is now gone, but in the last 3 decades, hundreds of regional theaters have sprung up to take its place across the country, and they are plunging into the classics and new American works with a vengeance and with a vision. A living network of American theaters that aren't there just as a substitute for Broadway, but as a bold complement to it. Actors are always hungry for that next chance, that next risk, and it's often in the regional theaters where we find it. When I was in rehearsal recently at the Hartford Stage Company for Hamlet and Peer Gynt, I quickly realized that Mark Lamos was a gifted and courageous director who was going to make sure that I took that risk. So with my own personal debt of gratitude, I'm delighted to present this year's Regional Theater Award, along with a $25,000 grant from American Express traveler's checks, to Mark Lamos and David Hawkinson from the Hartford Stage Company.
Thank you, and thank you, Richard. On behalf of all of us at the Hartford Stage, our sincere thanks to the American Theater Critics Association, the League, the Wing, and certainly a very special thanks to the generosity of American Express traveler's checks.
I'd like to thank a lot of people. First of all, our tireless and loyal staff who make miracles 6 times a year, and another group who make miracles, our intelligent, nurturing board of directors. Thanks from the heart, especially to my death-defying collaborators, writers, directors, actors, composers, designers, who have enriched our work and for whom I continue to learn so much. Thank you, too, to all the people of Hartford who have cared so much about this theater through rough times and difficult years and good times. The board and the staff, driven by David and driven crazy by me, seek to create an atmosphere in which an audience that cherishes an art form can thrive on challenges. An atmosphere in which a community of theater artists connects with a community of theater goers, and in that connection occasionally advances and often celebrates this art form, this vaudeville, this energy, this addiction we call live theater. Thank you very much.
This season, one of the most extraordinary new voices of the theater was heard on Broadway without saying a word. Inspired by the traditions of the great silent clowns, Bill Irwin has miraculously combined the elements of dance, music, and imagination to create an entertainment unlike anything we've seen before. This joyous play follows the adventures of a modern-day innocent, pitted in an uphill battle with electronic gadgetry as he tries to maneuver his way through city life, and presents us with a world we immediately recognize, even as we wonder how it came to be. Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Irwin and friends in tonight's fourth nominated play, Largely New York.
He's a toast to the town. and I'm really happy for him. Hi, my name is Steve, and I'll be your waiter. Next on our show, we're going to present the Salute to Disco, as performed by characters from Mother Goose. Oh, sorry, thought this was the Oscars. You know, one of the exciting things about being in show business and going to plays in New York is that you get to go backstage and say hello to the performers after the show. I'm sure many of you here tonight have been backstage to see your friends after play. If you have, please hold up your hands. 192 is pretty good. Well, we all know what to say when your best friend was great. You know, you were fabulous, you're so good. It's just... But more difficult is finding something to say when your friends are bad. I thought I'd pass along a few ideas for you. You're so brave. Your performance was everything I heard it was going to be. It's a difficult play, isn't it? You bastard. I think this is going to be the turning point in your career. And finally, the wordless but eloquent. All right, now I'd like to read the nominees for Best Performance by a Leading Actor in a Play. Mikhail Baryshnikov, Metamorphosis. Philip Bosco, Lend Me a Tenor. Victor Garber, Lend Me a Tenor. Bill Irwin, Largely New York. And the winner is Philip Bosco.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank God that Jerry Zaks won the Best Director Award, because he thanked just about everybody I was supposed to thank. So you'll forgive me if I don't repeat all of their names, but I will add to that group the nominees that were included in my category. It's wonderful company to be in. Two bona fide geniuses and a superb actor who has never been in a play that hasn't been a success. I thank the Tony Nominating Committee, of course, and all of the voters for giving me this wonderful honor. I do, of course, somewhat want to repeat my thanks to Martin Starger and to Biddy Haywood for the actual sumptuous production that they gave us. Wonderful sets, costumes, and lights, everything first rate, absolutely top-notch. And if you'll allow me, let me mention the names of the rest of the cast. Ron Holgate, Jeff Brooks, J. Smith Cameron, Jane Connell, of course, Tova Feldshuh, Victor Garber, and Carolyn Lagerfeld. And may I say one further thing, two further things. I'd like to share this with Victor, who was very strongly responsible for me being in the show. And I do indeed share it with him and with the members of the cast. It will, of course, be at my house in Teaneck. And you're absolutely welcome to come anytime you like to see it. And for my final word, I would like to say something that will probably annoy someone who's present here, but I'm going to do it anyway. I dedicate this, my first Tony, to this lovely red-headed lady sitting in F-125, my wife Nancy. This is for you, Pinky, and it is not at all tarnished. Thank you very much.
Just wonder who he annoyed. Trying to figure that out. All right. Nominees for Best Performance by a Leading Actress in a Play are Joan Allen, The Heidi Chronicles, Pauline Collins, Shirley Valentine, Madeline Kahn, Born Yesterday, and Kate Nelligan, Spoils of War. The winner is Pauline Collins, Shirley Valentine.
Dear people, I can't believe that I'm here. I can't believe the generosity of this theatrical community in giving this to me. I know and love the work of my fellow nominees, Kate, Madeline, and Joan. And I have to say that I think I'm only here because Willie Russell created a unique and universal character in Shirley, and Simon Callow cast me in it and directed me with exquisite, loving care. What's marvelous about being here is that it's proof that miracles can happen at any time in our lives, you know, even when you're getting on a bit, like me and Philip. And I think it means that there's hope, and you must all continue to dream your dreams because they'll come true. Dear Broadway, you are a legend, and I hope that you go on continuing to be revitalized by new, young talent, writers, actors, directors, brave producers, producers like Biddy Hayward, who took a chance on something which is obviously not a very strong commercial proposition. And I just want to say, Broadway, I salute you, I thank you for having me here, and may you go on forever. Thank you.
The 1989 Tony Awards are sponsored by Ultras by Clairol. If you haven't tried it, how do you know what you're missing?
Of course men look at me differently when I'm a blonde. That's why I'm a blonde. You kidding? I wouldn't go back for anything. I love being the spokesperson for Ultras. I feel Ultras is a great product. One of the things that I love best about it is it has a gel. It doesn't drip all over your face. Why be cheap with your hair? I mean, if you're going to save money, do it somewhere else. If you haven't tried it, how do you know what you're missing? You know, there's nothing better than Ultras.
Introducing a fresh idea in air deodorizers.
I love it. I love the smell. It's not like Lysol. That I know it. I don't know what it is. It's Lysol. Isn't that a kick? I could use it anywhere in the house.
Lysol disinfectant spray cleans the air everywhere.
Because it smells great.
Announcing a new addition to the Lysol spray family with a light, clean scent and all the power of Lysol spray. New Lysol disinfectant spray, light scent.
Hey, who's that with Joey? That's his sister, Laura. Is she a college senior? No, she's going to be a freshman. You're kidding me. She joined the military. She went all over the world, learned all kinds of new stuff, and now they're paying her way through college with the GI Bill. GI Bill? That's enough to make you want to sign up. I did. Did what? I signed up, and so did Joey.
Opportunity is waiting for you.
Part-time or full-time?
With the GI Bill.
You know, it's one thing to love a luxury car the day you buy it. But later? Yet just last year, more Mercedes-Benz owners said they would buy another than the owners of any other make sold in America. That kind of loyalty says a lot about the way it feels to own a Mercedes and the care you will get from your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer. Take a look at one now.
Tonight's third nominated musical began as a memory. A look back at some of the theater's most treasured moments. When their creator found the magic was still alive, he decided to weave them together into a completely new and exciting work. Jerome Robbins' Broadway is both a musical legacy and a theatrical leap forward by an artist whose greatest gift is to recognize our simplest dreams and then make them fly.
Just think, lovely, wonderful thoughts. And up there you go! I'm sweet, oh, I'm sweet. I'm flying. When you see way up high, suddenly, here am I, I'm
Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Gwen Verdon.
The nominees for Best Direction of the Musical are Larry Carpenter's Starmites, Jerome Robbins' Broadway, Peter Mark Shifter, Welcome to the Club, and Claudio Segovia and Hector Orizzoli, Black and Blue. And the winner is, I'm so nervous, Jerome Robbins' Broadway.
Thank you very much. There have been so many thanks that it's hard to make a list of people that really deserve it for the winning of this. The show rehearsed a long time, and it was an enormous cast and an enormous staff. And it is a family, and I have to thank that family for helping win this. I also have to thank the producers, who were so many and so backing and supportive of the venture. I'd like to thank Actors Equity for recognizing the needs of the show and being creative and helpful in flexing the rules and coming to some agreements about our long rehearsal period. I'd like to thank the staff that was so regularly behind us. I'd like to thank all the wonderful people who contributed to the show, the composers, the lyricists, the writers, the designers, and I suppose as a director, I have to thank the choreographer. Most of all, I want to thank the extraordinary cast, and they are extraordinary. They're talented, they're young, they're devoted to the theater, and it was a great, great pleasure working with them as much as I did. Thank you.
Compromise is self-defeating, especially with luxury cars. So don't compromise. See your authorized Mercedes-Benz dealer. Test drive the 300E. You'll see why one expert called it the finest four-door sedan ever built. And you won't compromise on the important things, like customer care and resale value. The 300E. Take a look at one now.
Until I moved here, I never realized how every block is like a small town. There's a nice corner market. Everybody meets at the coffee shop. My landlady, Lillian, she keeps her eye on everything, including me, the newcomer, up here alone with some boxes and a suitcase.
Come on, you're not alone. You got your phone and you got me.
Before you move, one call to AT&T helps put everything in place so you can feel right at home.
I miss you.
I miss you too.
AT&T, we take you right there and keep you this close.
The Canon Sure Shot Ace with remote control puts you in your own pictures where you ought to be.
You ought to be in pictures. You're wonderful to see. You ought to be in pictures. Oh, what a hit you would be. You ought to be in pictures. Your face would be adored. You ought to be in pictures.
The Canon Sure Shot Ace with remote control, so advanced you get in on the fun.
If your carpet isn't DuPont Stainmaster, you may have less protection from stains. Less protection from wear. In short, you may have a lot less carpet than you bargained for. Instead of settling for less, get DuPont Certified Stainmaster. The advantages will grow on you. It's not a Stainmaster carpet if it doesn't say DuPont.
The 1989 Tony Awards will return in a moment.
On an all-new live-in, could Danny be dating his college tutor?
Nah. Yes.
She is crazy about me.
But can he make the grade? Ben.
Candy! All right, can I have some?
I just brought it along to torture you. It's Gus and Gramps' Excellent Adventure.
This is the first cool thing that's come up.
On Heartland, right after Live-In, Monday. This is CBS.
You know, there are a lot of things to feel good about around here, and we're happy to be one of them. Bank at the LaSalle banks and smile all the way to the bank.
Why do we listen to Q101's Murphy in the morning? He gives away more money.
Tomorrow morning, Q101, Murphy, music, and money.
Nice suit. You're too weird.
Newsbreak from Channel 2 News.
Good evening. A tense standoff continues in China as people around the world condemn the brutal and deadly crackdown on demonstrators. Chicagoans marked the worst shipping disaster in Great Lakes history. More than 800 dead right in downtown Chicago. In sports, the Cubs brawl their way past the Cardinals, and the Sox make it 2 in a row. Those stories and John Coughlin's forecast for Morning Rush Hour on Channel 2 News at 10.
How wild show business rumors get started on Entertainment Tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, 5-time Tony winner Tommy Tune.
Zero Mostel and I once performed a duet together. It was me and my shadow. Guess who was the shadow? He told me that time that once an actor got the part, he had 2 goals. One was to every night invent new ways to keep a role fresh so that each time the audience saw it, they felt they were seeing a one-of-a-kind performance. The second was to never let the director catch him doing it. Being both a director and an actor, I agree with Zero, partially. The nominees for Best Performance by a Leading Actress in a Musical are Ruth Brown, Black and Blue. Charlotte D'Amboise, Jerome Robbins, Broadway. Linda Hopkins, Black and Blue. Sharon McKnight, Starmite. The winner is Ruth Brown, Black and Blue.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Black and Blue. Thank you, Hector and Claudio. Thank you, Linda Hopkins, Carrie Smith, Bunny Briggs, all the wonderful people that I've had the privilege of working with in this performance. And the reason I thank them is because they're all so very talented that they really gave me my work to do. You had to be good because you were working with the best. I didn't really prepare a speech because, again, my self-esteem was so low I never thought. But let me tell you, there's nothing that can happen to me today that God and I together can't handle. So, what I am is God's gift to me. And what I've made of myself is my gift to him. I want to dedicate this to my dear mom and to my first grandbaby, who's probably looking in from Los Angeles. But to all of you, it has taken me 42 years to climb those 8 steps. Thank you.
This is great. The nominees for Best Performance by a Leading Actor in a Musical are Jason Alexander, Jerome Robbins, Broadway. Gabriel Barry, Starmites. Brian Lane Green, Starmites. Robert LaFosse, Jerome Robbins, Broadway. The winner is Jason Alexander, Jerome Robbins, Broadway.
So big. Oh, God. I want to thank the amazing cast of Jerome Robbins Broadway. They are too often my unsung heroes, and I share this with each and every one of them. I want to thank Jerry Schoenfeld and Bernie Jacobs and my friend Manny Eisenberg, who hocked me into doing this show and will remind me of it for the rest of my life. I want to thank Jay Binder and Beverly Randolph and Paul Gemignani and our 4 terrific dance captains, and my team of Terry Snyder and Karen Dickinson that helped me make those transformations every night, and all those terrific people that work on our show. And for the experience and opportunity of a lifetime, I want to thank my director and my dance teacher and the star of our show, Jerome Robbins. I want to thank all my teachers and my wonderful friends, everyone over at David's. Hi, guys. I want to thank Jean and Ann and Michael and Jim and my miracle maker for the last 5 years, Miss Bonnie Allen. I want to thank my terrific family for everything, particularly Phyllis and Arnie and my mom and dad who are felling away in Florida. And I want to thank a lady who makes me not only a better actor, but a much better human being, my wife, Dana. I am so proud to be part of the theatrical community of this city, and knowing that this comes from you makes it just fabulous. Thank you very much.
Seriously, what do you think? I think it's a great idea, but how are we going to sell it? That's nice.
Apple Computer has brought together a revolutionary set of tools
This looks great.
that will help you express your ideas more powerfully than ever before. Apple Desktop Media. The best way to make a great idea fly.
Oh, what a headache. 3 states in 4 days. I need a vacation from my vacation. But I took 2 Excedrin, and I know I'll feel better.
What do you have? Give me 2 pizza puffs, a chili dog. Excuse me. Gus. 1 minute. Sorry.
Give me 2 pizza puffs, a chili dog, a large...
Hey, Lord. Gus, I told you, to be hot dog kings, we need lots of Bud Light. Not Bull Blood?
If you want the one light that outshines them all, ask for Bud Light.
Now what do you think? It's beautiful.
Because everything else is just a light.
Hey, what about my pizza puffs?
At the biggest bank in Ireland, from coast to friendly coast, they'll refund your Visa traveler's checks if they're stolen or they're lost.
Of course we can.
So be off without a care and travel where you will, from McGillicuddy Reeks to Glencolumkill. But if you lose that other traveler's check, you may be in distress while you're phoning for a refund.
Thought you had the number.
From American Express. Visa traveler's checks, they're everywhere you want to be.
My headache's gone. 2 Excedrin, and it's gone.
When you want extra strength headache relief, take Excedrin, the headache medicine.
I'm ready to go again.
Ladies and gentlemen, James Earl Jones and playwright August Wilson.
We are here to present the Tony Award for Best Play. It honors not just the playwright, but the production that brought the script to life.
So this award is given to both the writer and the producer.
the writer for the strength of his vision, the producer for the constancy of his faith. It is a collaboration most blessed when the quality of mercy is not strained.
The nominees for Best Play are largely New York, Lend Me a Tenor, Shirley Valentine, The Heidi Chronicles.
And the winner of the American Theater Wing's Tony Award is The Heidi Chronicles.
It's an honor to be here tonight. I'm a New Yorker, and my parents took me to Broadway matinees every Saturday, so this means a great deal to me. The Heidi Chronicles has indeed been a collaboration in the best possible way. I want to thank Joan Allen and the cast for committing so much time and their great artistry to this play. To Tom Lynch and the designers who put on stage 25 years in 4 cities in an off-Broadway theater. To Dan Sullivan, who has been my partner on this play, without whom this production would not exist, and who gave a year to directing 5 women in a rap group. The actors in my play talk about their journey. Well, I want to tell you a little bit about the journey of this play. It began at Playwrights Horizons, an off-Broadway theater that nurtures new American playwrights. They've produced over 200 new American plays. It was done as a workshop at the Seattle Rep Theater, where I was able to just concentrate on the play. And it was moved to Broadway by the Schubert Organization and James Welsh and the gentleman from Centauri who believed in bringing an off-Broadway baby to Broadway. I want to thank my friends who have put up with me through all of this, my colleagues and playwrights in the Dramatists Guild for their constant inspiration. I want to thank my agent, Arlene Donovan, and my family who took me to the theater. And one last word, which is for women playwrights, I think this is great for all of us. Thank you.
I want to thank everybody whom Wendy thanked. I want to thank them again. I want to thank our director, Dan Sullivan, and Wendy, of course, because they've done such a magnificent job, and the cast. I want to thank our co-producers, Centauri, who ventured with us, ABC, Capital Cities, who've been with us for a long time, and the other co-producers. Thank you. Bye.
"25 years ago, Thornton Wilder's story about a Yonkers matchmaker was set to music. When Hello, Dolly opened at the St. James Theater, it swept the Tony Awards and became one of the classics of the Broadway stage. I'm very pleased and proud to present the Tony Award-winning composer, lyricist, and star of that show, Jerry Herman and Carol Channing.
It's so nice to be back home where we belong.
The nominees for the Best Musical of the 1988-89 season are Black and Blue, Jerome Robbins' Broadway, and Starmites.
And the winner is Jerome Robbins' Broadway.
It's late. Everybody's mentioned a lot of names. I have a list as well. Just those that haven't been mentioned. I'd like to thank this is the New York Knickerbockers up here. We have substitutes who are injured. Byron Goldman, a co-producer. Domo arigato to the Suntory Group.
Thank you.
And to Alan Becker of Pace Theatrical, thank you as well. There's some dance captains whose names, God, let me get them all. Cynthia Rubia, Jerry Mitchell, Victor Castelli, George Russell, stage managers Charlie Blackwell, Beverly, oh God, forgive me, Beverly Randolph, Jim Woolley. I'm very nervous. A special thank you with a great hug to Paul Gemignani, the musical director. Thank you. Somebody said right down here was good. Phil Smith of the Schubert Organization, Grover Dale, wherever you are. Joe Alisi, Robin Wagner, all those authors and lyricists. And most of all, a ton of heartfelt gratitude, love, and affection for the most wonderful cast I've ever been around. I know you're watching somewhere. Thank you all.
Jerome Robbins Broadway started off as an archival project for the Lincoln Center Library for the Performing Arts. Jerry Robbins thought that he might be able to reconstruct his dances, and after 3 months of solid work with a great number of people, he came to us and said, you know, I think I might be able to do this for Broadway. That was the best news that we ever had. After 22 weeks of rehearsal and 7 weeks of previews, Jerome Robbins opened on Broadway. I think it's only fitting that I ask Jerome Robbins to please come up here and share this Tony Award with us. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much. I thank Manny for mentioning all the people I forgot in my nervousness and panic, and it goes on and on to even more than that. I thank the producers particularly for their belief and steadfast backing of a project which looked an impossibility, but they made that dream came true. Mostly, I'm so happy that what has arrived here was a part of my history and the theater's history, which was fading away and being lost. And it meant so much to me that I was able to stop that for a while, bring it all back again, hope to get it recorded and notated and archived, and also got the extra dessert of having it a nice big hit too. Thank you very, very much, and thank you, dear members.
Never just another night in New York.
For many generations, oat bran has been a natural part of their breakfast. Part of a balance of grains and fruits and nuts. Now known as Kellogg's Mueslix. How fortunate we have rediscovered what they knew all along. Kellogg's Mueslix with oat bran. What breakfast was meant to be.
The 1989 Tony Awards will return in a moment.
For those of you who do it alone, who stand by a loved one with Alzheimer's disease, now there's someone to stand by you. The Alzheimer's Association.
Is the only light we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't.
We have support groups where you can get in touch with your feelings, and community services and research that can put you in touch with the facts. Hopefully, one day, the cure.
And darling, darling, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Oh, stand by me. Stand by me. Whenever you're in trouble.
To reach your local Alzheimer's Association, call this number. Someone is there now to stand by you.
Tonight, we've taken a moment to look back and celebrate the gifts of this past theater season. Tomorrow, the stages of Broadway will be lit once more. The rehearsal halls open, the blank pages start to be filled with words and music and imagination as the men and women of the theater go back to work and begin creating our memories for the future. We can do it. All you need is a hand. We'll get through it. Broadway is gonna see to it.
Provided by United Airlines. From the ground up, rededicated to giving you the service you deserve. Come fly the friendly skies. The nominees have been selected by the experts of the Tony Nominating Committee from the 29 eligible productions which have opened this year. The secret ballots were then voted on by 647 qualified industry voters, and the results have been tabulated by the accounting firm of Lutz & Carr. Portions of this program have been pre-recorded.
This is Harry Smith. Tomorrow, the pollution crisis, an hour special. Also, Christopher Reeve, and later this week, Jackson Brown, Frank Zappa, and Linda McCartney on CBS this morning.
The preceding has been a production of the League of American Theaters and Producers and the American Theater Wing, the founder of the Tony Awards. This is Les Marshak speaking.
To learn more about the history of the American theater, the Library of Congress suggests these books. The Tony Award book, 4 Decades of Great American Theater by Lee Allen Morrow, and The Lively Years, 1920-1973 by Brooks Atkinson and Al Hirschfeld. These and many other interesting books are in your library and bookstore. Visit them. They'll be happy to help you read more about it.